Hey, who doesn't like to go out to eat? Everybody loves to go out to eat. But do we really know what's happening behind the kitchen doors? Not very often. That's why you got to tune into this show with one of the OGs here in Orange County.
Actually, today, two of them.
I got a couple OGs today here. Part of the old guard, the original gangsters, talking about the fine dining in Orange County then, today, and tomorrow, right here on Behind the Kitchen Doors with Chef Pascal. Welcome.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you for your introduction. But what's important today is to meet my guest.
Please. I wasn't sure we'd even get his name because I'm wafting this bread. I'm absorbing the smell of it and everything here. And this is the guy who bakes it?
He is the man behind the bread. He's the Orange County baker, I would say, because his company is called OC Baking Company, and very passionate man. And his name is Dean Kim, and we have a few stories, but we know each other.
You guys go way back.
Well, not that way back.
Way back. Way back.
We go back to early 90s, something like that.
That's pretty far back.
Yeah. And
now, I don't want to offend him right off the bat, but he looks more like an engineer or a rocket scientist, the type of people in this UCI building I see all the time. I don't see him as a baker.
Well, some part of his business, you have to act like an engineer. We're going to talk about all the logistic, production, delivery system, everything. That's, you have to really be in command and give direction. But can I call you Chef Dean?
You call me Dean. I'm just a baker. He just show up,
all night long at the bakery, and so he does a night shift for sure. But we met when Dean, our baker, was working for a small company called Bread on Spread, and I was buying some bread and some other stuff on that company, and then you can tell the following on the story, and then we're going to talk about what he's doing now, and the
world of baking today.
He's an extraordinary businessman and baker. So, can you say how we met? How did you start your bakery?
I actually was working for a smaller bakery in Orange County called Breads and Spreads. It was kind of one of those things I just fell into, and then we were focused.
I got to stop here for 1 second. So, were you a baker as a child? Do you have a family of bakers? Does anybody know how to bake in your family? What led you into baking?
Well, my family is all professional, like doctors in the medical field and business people. Right. I fell into it because I think everyone who asked me, I said it's the smell. Mm-hmm. I smelled baked goods, and after that, I was like, "Oh my God, I got to figure out how to do this." And
so, did you like bread?
I couldn't tell you I loved it or didn't love it. I figured out I loved the process of it.
Yeah.
Until this day, I still love the process because it's changing every day. Mm-hmm. You have to worry about the weather. You have to worry about the protein levels of your flour. I mean, there's so much science involved in it, but that's what really gave me the baking bug.
And I take it from your name that you're from a Korean background?
I am Korean background. Yes.
Do they, I don't know Korean food that much. Is there a lot of baked goods? Any baked goods?
Nowadays, I think Asia has gone crazy with the baked goods.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they like a lot of French cafe and things like that, yeah.
Like the banh mi, isn't it? I say
but, as a Korean, as a younger Korean kid growing up in California, all I knew was King's Hawaiian. That's what I loved, and that's what I ate all the time.
Sliced bread.
Super soft. It was in those pans, those pie pans, and I loved it. But then I started really getting into the more crustier style, the European style breads, and the more longer fermented breads. and it's such a great industry to be in. And, in the beginning, I know my parents were not too crazy about my career choices.
They wanted you to be like most Koreans. I wanted to be a doctor or a lawyer.
But, after a while, they figured, well, he's doing okay, and now they're my biggest fans. So,
Wonderful.
yeah.
So when we met, and it was I had my restaurant, also had my shop, and I was importing actually a famous bread from a famous bread maker in Paris, Poilâne, and it was so expensive, it was very hard to sell it back. And
did they fly it in?
Yeah,
because it would have to be fresh. Yeah.
Overnight, and then I could not sell more than a quarter because of the price for each loaf. And then so I contact Dean and say, "Can you do something similar?" And he starts working on it, and every week he brings me a new one. What do you think? This is close to it, So, and then it's a science. So you develop a science.
But remember back then, there's like the forefathers of Orange County culinary back then. There was you. There was Christian Rasno.
Yes.
There was Dominique Bier.
Yeah.
A handful.
There was only a handful of guys who, when you walked to see them, you're kind of intimidated, and if they told you to jump, you jumped. You figured out, okay, I can't piss this guy off.
Yeah.
So
because it wasn't like there were 100 fine dining restaurants in Orange County.
No, there was a handful of, but these guys are the guys who brought culinary, in my opinion, a lot of fine dining into.
Yeah, we were the core.
Yeah.
Because we were fast food suburbia, and still are to a certain degree, but not nearly what it was in the 90s.
No, things changed.
Yeah, I mean, back then, after I left the bakery, the only thing available was Del Taco, or Denny's.
Yeah.
In and Out.
Yeah, no, not In and Out was closed. I left the bakery, but it was when you had one of these chefs call you for whatever, you got up and you talked to them and you try to figure it out.
So how did you figure it out? Do you literally do chemistry? Do you just do trial and error? There was no Google. There was no YouTube. You can't just see, how do we make this?
I think it's more trial and error. You have to figure out, okay, sure, is it a Levant base? Is it a Biga? Is it a Polish?
What are all those? Those are different grains?
Different starters to start the bread off with, and what kind of flour percentages you use. You use whole wheat. Do you use a grainier whole wheat? Mm-hmm. And it's all about trial and error. And that's the beauty of baking. There's no one dead science. I mean, Pascal and I could have the same ingredients in front of us and the same recipes, but it's just the process could be different, and it could be two totally different products. So,
once you get, I don't know enough about baking, but I had to research a little bit. So you make some kind of starter. It's a blob of something, right? Yeast.
Yes.
It's like for vinegar. You have a mother, and then the starter is.
Luckily, our mother is strong. Our liquid starter is strong, and I've had it going on for like 33 years now.
And I was going to say, that living organism literally does it the same thing, or one generation turns into a next?
You know what? I think it evolves. If you feed it differently, it evolves. If you're in a different area, it has different bacteria to feed off, it evolves into that area. I started my starter in Napa, and now it's an Orange County starter, because it has different bacteria to feed off of.
And will it live? It's a living, breathing organism. Will it live forever?
Yes. You could live it. There's people who've had starters for 500 years.
Oh, my God.
But you just have to treat it like a baby,
Every day you have to
Can you starve it or kill it? I mean,
you could kill it very easily.
If you forget to feed the starter, just die on you.
Yeah. It's very important. I think a lot of the bakeries that do sourdough or do some type of starter, their backbone is the starter to make sure it's taken care of.
So this is a precious thing. Somebody develops it, thrives, it feeds it, keeps it alive, it evolves, it changes. And then what do you do with it? You take that, how does that turn into bread?
I think it depends also what type of wheat you use as well.
Okay. I think the volume of product you use, you're constantly turning that starter out. You're building it up. You're turning it out. I feed my starter twice a day, and I make sure it's healthy. That's the first thing I check in the morning, and that's the last thing I check at night.
And do
See,
literally...
he's like a farmer. You need to cow the milk or the goat twice a day.
For suburban kids like me, though, who've never seen anything made, I'm trying to picture it's a blob of dough and yeast and something here.
It's flour and water, and the bacteria you started off with. It could be grapes, it could be milk, whatever, but it's a living organism.
A bacteria.
A bacteria that, helps build the structure of the bread. I mean, look at the bread. Look at the blistering effect, the crust, the flavor, and everything. It all comes out from a base starter.
And then how do you take the starter and turn it into bread? I don't understand the process.
Well, you get that is your base. It could be your leavening for like a sourdough. That starter is your leavening. So it's about like maybe up to 40% of your recipe with your regular flour, with your salt and water. And then so
you take this just regular flour and salt, water, mix up the kind of the dough, but somehow it doesn't turn into bread until you infuse it with the bacteria somehow.
Yeah, you mix it all together and let the bacteria do its work.
Yeah, and then there's the chemistry works on its own.
Yeah,
that's why you have to let it sit. Let it sit and rise.
There's so many arguments, but plus, with that starter, you get a longer shelf life. You get a better flavor.
You do, because now that's the opposite. I would have thought this stuff has a shorter shelf life than the stuff in the store filled through with preservatives.
I guess I'm not sure about that, but this look like a regular baguette,
right?
But it's not. When that baguette at first, I don't know if I'm bragging too much, but you create that starter baguette. When I requested a few years ago, and you did par bake for me.
Yes.
And then we bake it again
we did that for a reason, because baguettes, a lot of people love baguettes, but the shelf life on a baguette's terrible.
Yeah, but
you have to eat it that same day.
You can feel it, the weight.
Yeah.
Most of the baguettes you buy is just nothing.
Yeah.
And a baguette is what? It's a style of French bread that's very popular in French.
Yeah, but this one is fermented, and you can see the difference. Look at that. Look.
And what does it mean, fermented? It means
it's like it basically, you give it as much time as possible for the flour to develop and the dough to develop properly before you throw it in the oven.
And what keeps it? Because obviously beer is fermented, grapes are fermented. So what keeps it from becoming alcohol? From the bacteria eating?
You have to know
sugar.
how to control it.
Yeah.
And know when to bake it. And know when to mix it properly, and there's different stages involved in it. And beer is kind of like is almost the same process as sourdough.
It's yeast.
Yeah, it's the same thing.
It's a yeast and it's dough, and they make a mash out of it.
Yeah.
Even Dean put sometimes potatoes, like cook potato into the dough and make potato bread. And
you have to look at the pH of the bread, and whatever you put in that bread, you have to be very careful. Like sun-dried tomatoes, it turns into the acid. It ends up eating up the bread, so you have to it's a quick batch.
So could you create an alcoholic bread? Would the fermentation process be the same in bread? Is that what beer is sort of?
Well, beer, there's different types of, like grog is kind of a bread, but it's alcoholic. But it's almost like a little sturdier pudding, but it still has a lot of alcohol content. With bread, you kind of control it where the alcohol doesn't go crazy, but yet you kind of trying to find a balance in between.
Paul, you can always take a piece of bread and dip in your wine,
Yeah. But because I've watched them, microbreweries and stuff, make beer in particular. And they have what looks like, you're talking about, a starter, a yeast, a dough, or something, a mash, they call it. And then they add water, and then the yeast starts eating the sugar and spits out alcohol, right?
Yeah, but even still, the brewing process takes a long time. So I think just like bread, you have to be patient. Let the bread tell you when it's ready.
So look at the baguette.
Okay.
It has this little bump, all right?
Baguettes have a very distinct look to them.
Cut is okay. The French love to have a little something on it.
You got to keep in front of the mic there. Yeah.
It has a little bump, and that means that's good fermentation. and you can see it's airy inside, and so it's fluffy and airy. It's fantastic. Great for sandwich.
And how does it get crusty on the outside? Is that the baking?
It's the fermentation and the baking. I tend to go with a little bit of higher temperature. And plus, you've seen my ovens. I have big hearth ovens and I do have convection ovens, but it's how you attack the bread. Plus the steam injectors involved help set up the crust really well. So, it's important that, that's all through experience and seeing how people do it. I'm like, oh, well,
so
that's how
let me
you
ask you
do
another
it.
technical question. What little I know about baking, so we had somebody in from Lorena Bakery, which is Mexican breads, sweet breads, pan dulce, and some other things. They were on the Hispanic show. And he was talking about they still do it old school, the grinding of the grain, stone ground. Does any of that matter, how you get the grain?
I think if you could do it, God bless you. For me...
impractical.
It's not very practical for me, although, there's nothing like a bread that's stone ground or...
Exactly.
It's
And
the best thing in the
That's
world.
what they were talking about. That's why they were so proud of it. Now they do it in smaller batches, obviously, here.
Yeah, it has to be a small batch. But you should see in Europe the
Giant
wheels and things like that. And then the powder that come out of it is fantastic. But look at it. This is a sourdough ball, correct?
Yes.
So you can see a different bump, a different fermentation. Still have a nice crust, but
they look dramatically different. One's puffy and brown, and the other one is long and golden.
This one is different because it's probably more the whole wheat almost.
Believe it or not, it does have a little bit of whole wheat.
Yeah.
It is a poolish base, and it's more like a...
What is poolish? I don't know.
It's a starter, but it's just flour, water, and a little bit of yeast, and you let the dough grow, and that's your basis of the bread. So what this bread, which I like, it's kind of like a peasant bread. It's something you see at a dinner table that people just grab a hunk out of bread and eat their
My
sauces.
grandparents used to have that kind of bread. That's a bread that you buy once a week. You keep it the entire week. It's still good.
The whole week? It's as opposed to a baguette, which would go bad in a day.
No, also this kind of baguette.
French people, it's a sin for you to waste anything.
When we started baguette, I have a little story. Because I used to go buy, my mother say, go buy a baguette, all right? So
in Normandy, back in France.
So I go on my bicycle, I go to the baker, and then I come back with the baguette. Mm-hmm. And she always say, why are we missing both hands?
Who took the ends?
On the way back home.
Who chewed on this bread?
The bread. And bakers also, all right. Baker's schedule, all right, especially now we don't have bakery in every corner like in France. Nor
do we have delivery. When I was a kid, they had Helm's Bakery and other things that would come to your house in a truck.
Yeah, but no.
I'm not saying the same quality, but the idea of fresh bread would come.
Yeah, we're a bake store. Sometimes I have pastry, or sometimes I say, I don't do pastry, I just do bread.
Right.
And when you go out late, on the weekend at night, and before you go home at 2 or 3 in the morning, and you say, I need to eat something. So you go in the back of the bakery, and then you can smell the baking, and you say, can I buy a couple of fresh baguettes? So you used to buy those fresh baguettes out of the oven.
At 11 o'clock at night or something.
No, even later than that.
2 in the morning.
Okay. You need to tell Paul, what's your schedule?
I'm usually up, believe it or not, by 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh.
And I usually get home. I try to have at least one meal with my wife. And then I'm usually back at the bakery. I usually stay there from 8 to 9. And that's pretty much 6 days a week.
Wow.
On Sundays, I usually go there early in the morning, and I get there like around 5 o'clock in the morning. I spend about till about 3, and then I go home.
You have to say, Chef Dean is victim of his own success.
I guess so, right? He's been trapped by his
he
own
worked
success.
very hard, and he's so nice and generous, you can tell. But he he has a tough time to say no to chef. Someone say, "Can you make me that special bread?" You know
why? Because I think more now I realize this, and all the younger kids who got out of culinary school, all the new restaurateurs who just wanted to open up a restaurant, I don't think they realize what business we're in. And I always tell them, "What business are you in?" "Oh, I want to do sweets."
Right.
Okay, okay. What business are you in? "I want to make a hamburger shop." Okay. And what business is that? "Oh, we're feeding people." No, we're in hospitality. If you don't get that, then you should start all over again.
Right.
You have to realize I'm not a baker. Yeah. I'm not in the baking business. I'm in the hospitality business. Yeah. I'm here to please the client. So, and I think a lot of people forget that. And
because we've gotten into the mechanization of everything, and we want to get into the scalability of it. Is McDonald's in the hospitality business? Maybe at some level, but they are probably in a production. They're producing hamburgers.
But I think that's a downfall. I think that's why a lot of people right now are complaining about service at a restaurant or gratuity at a restaurant, right?
Or prices at a restaurant.
I remember you told me something a long time ago. And it makes sense. And to this day, I said, the food could be marginally average, but the service is excellent. I'm going to go back there all the time.
Yeah.
Now, if the food is excellent, but the service is terrible, I'm not going back. You know, and I think people are losing the focus of hospitality.
And talking about service, first, before I forget, how many kind of bread you do every day?
I'm stupid.
I knew you were going to say that.
It's the worst business concept.
It's not a good business model.
I think I do like an average of over 110 different types of breads daily.
Oh, no. You got to do 3 or 4, and that's what you make, and you crank them out in mass production.
Well, where were you 30 years ago to tell me that? You know, I mean, good Lord.
No.
You know, my life would be... I often think that, oh, my God, King's Hawaiian, if I just did one bread.
Yeah. The bread. You make this bread.
You know, and even when I go to sandwich shops and they're like, "Oh, I want like 8." No. Cut it down to 3 different breads. It's too much SKUs and too much inventory. And I said, but if you think about all of the great sandwich shops, usually just one type of bread. Yeah. That's it. Yeah. You know,
white or whole wheat.
Yeah. But, you know, in hindsight, you know, like I said, I'm in the hospitality business, and a chef asked me to do something, I'm going to do it.
So I'm picturing how many types of bread there are. I'm from suburbia. There's 2 or 3 on the shelf. There's rye bread, there's wheat bread. I do seeded rye. I do marble rye. I do just a straight rye, dinner rye. I do French baguettes. I do Polish baguettes. I do par-baked baguettes. All different size of rolls. Dinner rolls, there's so many to come across. I do brioche, cinnamon raisin brioche. Cinnamon brioche.
But
I do.
Paul, you say about, being caught up in the modern world.
Yeah.
He has to, because he needs to face the production. If I call Dean and say, next week I need 1,500 rolls, can you do that? Sure, no problem. How big of a roll you want.
But unlike a traditional business, he doesn't just go off the shelf and take 1,500 pre-made parts.
No, just make it fresh that day.
It's funny, because some chefs call me last minute for that stuff, and I go, when do you need it?
In an hour.
I remember Montage called me because they needed a 8-foot long challah. Okay. And I said, okay, I'm not kosher. You know that. And they're like, it's okay. Last minute, we need it. And I go, okay. When do you need it?
Because challah is a Jewish bread.
It's Jewish bread. They need it
traditionally done according to traditionally has to have certain kosher guidelines and stuff.
And he called me at 8:00 in the morning. I go, okay, so tomorrow, when do you need it? And he said, I need it by 11:00. Oh. I go, are you kidding me? And he goes, can you do it? And I go, I could try. I'll do my best. So I was at the mixer, and all of my mixers and the bakers were looking at me because I was just throwing yeast in there. I go, I know. Don't do what I do. Just do what I say. I shaped it, baked it, I mean, it was proofing up so fast with the amount of yeast I put in there. Baked it, got out of the oven by 10:15. I put it on a board, threw it in my car, drove to the Montage.
Unbelievable.
And made somebody's day, made somebody's special event, some
It's so
special
funny.
celebration.
But the receiver was kind of mad because the bakery was supposed to be didn't, and I was like, it was an emergency. I came down, and he goes, okay, where's the invoice? I go, I'm not charging you for that. Someone's going to get sick off of that bread with all the yeast in there. You know, I was like, forget
You
that.
would feel bad.
Yeah, so I said, just take it, and I'm out of here. You know.
So in today's modern world, this is what I'm fascinated with. How many does the consumer have a taste for 100 different style breads, or we've just been trained to get the 3 or 4 off the shelf?
I think it's all about selection, and people who like places that serve wine and are wine restaurants. They're not going to serve sourdough because the tannins in the sourdough affects the flavor of the wine.
Although I've been to wine tasting with sourdough bread, and
Well, I think that's a big mistake.
Yeah.
I do too, because it overpowers.
Or the acidity in your mouth is just destroying the taste of the wine.
I mean, then we have restaurants like the Ranch in Anaheim who it's elegant dining, but their roll is like 7 intricate rolls in a marguerite, and that's what they like. It really depends on their menu and what they want to use.
What I mean is signature loaf.
Yeah.
So
I mean, you could go to Mastro's, you get like a lavash. People want to see a lavash. They want to see something dark. They want to see a crusty roll. They want to see a soft roll. Yeah. So it's all about selections.
And do you also bake like, I want to call them crackers, but flatbreads or other sorts of things?
I do. I hate doing it, but I'll do it if someone asks me.
But why do you hate to do it? At least you do focaccia.
Yeah, I do focaccia, but the lavash I do for people.
Because that's like a sort of a cracker to me, a lavash.
But focaccia is amazing.
Yeah.
So why do you hate doing crackers?
It's unless you don't have a sheeter and you do that by hand, it is very time consuming, and for what it is, it's just a cracker. That's all it is. It's a cracker.
It's a cracker.
And how many clients do you have? Because you not only bake, you have an order desk, on the very well trained. They really know you, and they take your order and they say, okay,
they probably have a sales group that goes out and specially designs stuff if you want something.
You know what? I tend to get at my customers mostly by word of mouth. I've had salespeople before, and it just never works out because I'm fortunate enough where I could just walk in the back of the kitchen and in my jeans and T-shirt and talk to the chef, and they're like, okay, this is what I need.
Hey, can I talk to the chef?
Yeah.
He has a piece of bread in
Here's
his
another
hand,
one. Here's a modern. Do you have like a test kitchen? If I'm opening a restaurant, can I come and experiment and you show me different ideas to stand out?
I encourage chefs to come to my bakery because there might be something on the shelf or something that I'm making that will totally change their bread idea on what they want to do.
Yeah.
Talking about that, at the bakery, you do some pop-ups.
Yes.
So when there's pop-ups, he has all kind of bread in display that you can buy that give you an idea of what.
That's what I'm saying. So I want to do something different in my restaurant, and I don't want just the same old bread. So I want a signature bread, a signature loaf, a signature bun, something special. Mm-hmm. Your guy who was doing the smash burgers had special buns and everything here.
Yes.
Brioche and buns and stuff here. So could I come to you and you'll help me come up with my own signature OCTalkRadio bun here?
Oh, definitely.
Why don't you pick something already made? Don't give him
No. I want something unique, special.
I mean, right now I'm doing these buns for Coastal Cowboy in San Juan Capistrano.
Okay.
And they're getting like a red pepper bun.
That's what I was getting at. Give me something crazy. A red pepper bun. Right.
Or Angels, when they call me out of the blue, which I hate. I have to do a red bun for them when they're doing the season.
Of course, yeah.
The most craziest thing was SoFi Stadium. They had a Star Wars theme thing, and they asked me, do you know what the Millennium Falcon is? And I go, yeah, of course I do.
Yeah.
I want a bun that color. I go, how the hell am I going to make a bun?
Same color as the
Rusted gray. You guys are
Well, you,
breaking my
you
buns.
could, you know,
Yeah.
you use some squid ink.
Oh my God. And squid ink. How many chef's coats or aprons have you and I ruined because of squid ink?
Yeah, it's terrible.
I was like, you can't wash that
Can't get
stuff
that
out.
stuff out.
That's kind of a trendy now to have squid ink. And now even in France, they do, I don't know if you do it here, where they do, ashes.
Yes.
Ashes in bread. You know,
Well, now people are still getting away from squid ink. Now they're using charcoal.
charcoal.
Yeah.
I mean,
real charcoal.
Yes. Well, food grade charcoal.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And
All right, so how many? Oh, you don't tell us all the secrets or how big your business. But I take it it's pretty big, and I take it you have lots of restaurant clients. Give us some idea. I don't even know how many restaurants are in Southern California.
From down in LA all the way up to San Clemente, I figure we do about maybe over 100,
Oh my goodness!
something like that, maybe more.
so that's why, I mean,
Wow.
from the order desk, and then they have to do the logistic of delivery.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know, because every restaurant wants their bread before they open. You know, so most of the mornings are crazy busy back-to-back delivery.
Yeah, I think my vans leave the bakery usually around 4 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock for further routes. But you know, COVID taught me something. Now I'm kind of tightening up because I don't want to do bread for everyone.
No.
You know, there's no use. It's so crazy. Just
Well, I know you had a tough time to find enough baker at one point. You look like now you cannot
but
find
you know,
the
I
balance.
kind of like went back and I said, you know what? I'm going back to what I know is bread.
Yeah.
So I started spending more time with the bakers, telling them my ideas on bread, and trying to infuse the passion that infused me to make me who I am now.
So you mean you still have the passion?
I still have the passion.
Yes. Good.
You know, if
That's incredible because usually businesses grow, the passion die. Pascal says this sometimes. You got one restaurant, you're passionate. You got 20 restaurants, I'm not so passionate. I'm running a.
that's the whole thing. I think I downsized enough where now I could train a little better. You know, for God's sake, at one point
I
didn't
don't
know.
think you don't sign that much, but you restrict it.
Yeah, but now, I mean, back then, you know, I had over 100 employees.
Right.
Yeah.
You
I
never-
didn't know anyone's name.
Right. And you never touch
You know.
You probably don't get into the bakery very often. You're doing payroll or you're doing projections. You're
Well,
doing
I
cost
think-
analysis. You're doing production.
I think with everything bakery wise, I think I adapted to learn how ordering should be done, how delivery should be done, how routes should be set up, how you know, the mix schedule should be set up, how
Right.
the bake schedule should be set up. It's all stuff that I think as a business owner you have to kind of dabble in everything and I'm going to admit you, I'm a control freak. And
So I'll do a specific baker. Okay, you have a baker who's going to just do baguettes, and another baker who's just do sourdough. How do you say, okay, for tomorrow we need 100 of this, 120 of this, 500 of that? How do you give them little notes with an
Write it on a
order,
board, computer.
I believe with this stage of employees, you have to hit them with everything. Write a note, write a memo, write an order sheet,
Yeah.
add-on sheet, have them read it and sign it, right? Then I'll go back to them and I'll tell them again, that's how you do it. And then I'll tell them this is how I want it. And I'll have them feel it.
But the quantity, the daily preparation,
I think everything is doable.
because you don't want to overdo.
No. But there's
Overproduce.
times where my bakers are like, I only got an hour left. I go home. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
I'll do it. It's okay. It's not a big deal. I'm a trained baker too. I could do it.
And what do you do with your excess bread? You give it away?
A lot of it goes to different organizations, Bracken Kitchen
Yeah.
and all that
We
stuff.
love Bill Brackett. Yeah.
Yeah. Bill is always he's a good
you
man.
always with him. Yeah.
Yeah.
To work I've seen you working together.
That's one thing about Bill. I can't say no to the guy. Although I could whine as much as I can to him, but I ultimately going to say yes.
You never whine.
Yeah.
How about the food banks, the second harvests of the world, and all that kind of stuff?
We do. Whoever needs bread, we donate whoever needs it. You know, and I came with a philosophy of even at the farmers market, I give away like up to 30 to 40% of my bread on
goodness.
the table because
You really are a bad business.
I don't want anyone to be without a loaf of bread at home.
You know, Dean on the OC Baking Company, every Saturday is selling bread in Orange, in the orange-grown farmers market.
Homegrown farmers market, yes.
So that was my next question. Can I, the consumer, go taste your bread, or do I have to get it at a restaurant?
Go
No,
get it at
You
the
could go to
farmers
Orange
market.
Homegrown Farmers Market. You could get it every Saturday. We're there. And
Go early.
yeah,
Because,
and
you
then
know,
usually like Thanksgiving coming up, Pascal knows this because he always there. We open up the bakery the day before Thanksgiving for people to get their baked goods and pies and whatever you need. We have a
You
bunch
do
of
pies and stuff too?
no, my friends do,
Yeah.
and I bring a bunch of vendors in the bakery.
I
Open it
usually
up.
sell my coffee there.
Yeah. And they could get all
But
their...
that's just once a year. People can come to the actual bakery.
Sometimes twice a year.
We do it basically 2 times a year, the day before Thanksgiving and
Easter, no?
I think it's going to be the day before Christmas Eve.
Oh, Christmas.
Yeah.
Easter, we're in the Midwest. I'm part Polish. Was a baking holiday. People would bake donuts and cakes and stuff for Easter celebrations. I don't know if that's big out here, but
But, you know, Thanksgiving is...
Thanksgiving and
bread.
Christmas is the only 2 days I really do it because I like giving my guys a break.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, I have to bring you something they may not know.
okay.
The timing of everything done today is unbelievable. Tomorrow is the World Bread Day.
Oh, I knew that. I figured that's why you coordinated.
You knew that,
I
right?
figured that's why you put this together. World Bread Day. Yeah,
Yes.
exactly.
And there's a new show with Tony Shalhoub about breaking bread.
Yes.
On CNN. You have to watch that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
What is it about? We asked one of the other guests to say, what is it about breaking bread together that brings people together, that creates a warmth? If we sit down and eat, that's one thing. But if we physically break bread and physically do something like that, I don't know. Is that just an old-fashioned tradition, or is that real?
Well, it's biblical.
Yeah,
Biblical,
it is.
yeah.
And I'm a firm believer breaking bread with someone is a very important transaction between a relationship. You know, I mean,
How so? How so? I'm not disagreeing, but how so? What do you see?
if you see a family in Italy or France, you know, they don't cut up bread. You go out, you grab a hunk of bread, and you eat it. And it's just, I think people don't realize that breaking bread is a symbolic action to do, especially with someone you respect and you love and you care for. You know, breaking bread it's a saying, but like I said, it's biblical.
It's not the same. It's beautiful because bread is, especially in Europe, is with every meal.
Yeah.
And
But you know, French people take bread a little too. They're crazy with
Oh,
bread.
they're nuts.
Oh, I remember. I'm not sure who. I thought it was
Like
you.
the Irish are in their whiskey here. It's a big deal.
I remember I was doing a bread tasting with Edward V. Canoe,
yeah.
and I cut out some bread. He tasted, goes good. The rest I just discarded, and he slapped me.
Yeah.
And I was like,
You don't trash bread.
and then he told me, you know, if you're in my country, I'd kill you.
Yeah.
And I was like,
Oh, wow.
oh my God.
Wow.
All right. So let me show you something. Talking about the
Before you do that, though, I have to give you one bit of useless knowledge. I just looked up on Wikipedia. I knew this before, and I just wanted to look it up. Do you know when sliced bread started? Wonder Bread was the first company to. That's how they made their name.
Yes,
They were the first company to cut a loaf of bread and pre-cut it. It was in 30.
He has to be a British bread.
Wonder bread. And so I grew up as a child. That's all we ate was Wonder bread, that white gooey bread. And the beauty of it was we didn't have to break it. It was sliced. You just pulled it out of the bag.
Yeah.
And we spread something on it and ate it.
For me, I wonder if that's really bread.
Wow.
So, at the table,
Yes.
before dinner or lunch, you have a baguette at home, the family, or that was my brother, my mother, my dad, and I. Take the bread,
Right.
either a big one like this or a small one. Just for a biblical thing, do a cross under the bread.
I've heard that, and I've forgotten about that. Yeah, why is it? Just the blessed
Like
bread.
the
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
I'm a good Catholic. I should know that.
You go to church, you're supposed to eat bread.
Yeah.
And then it's a bad thing to put the bread like this on the table.
You're kidding. I didn't know that. That's bad
It has
luck.
to be like this.
So there is an art to handling the bread and
Yes,
serving
it is.
the bread.
Bread is sacred. Because bread, you always say the dad work hard to bring bread at the table.
Used to call
it's
money
all this
bread,
thing.
yeah.
So
Made some bread. Yeah.
and especially like these days, some people don't eat it much. But if you bring them something to make something like bread, even if it's a tortilla or anything, they can live on it.
So my other question we talked about beforehand, I agree with everything you're saying. Bread's a beautiful product. It's been made for centuries, particularly in European countries here, and it's a part of their culture and how they eat and what they eat. However, I grew up in America in the 60s, and bread was Wonder Bread. We moved away from making it. It came in a bag. It had preservatives, sat on the shelf forever. There was no art to serving it. It was nothing special about it, but it was there. And I wonder if that took us so far away from baking. We all forgot how to bake. We didn't bake. We don't know how to bake. We don't know what a fresh baked good tastes like. But that seems to have changed in the last few years. Is that true? Are we coming back to this?
I think, yes, definitely. Like I said, I think during COVID, when supermarkets didn't have bread,
Yeah, right.
and that's how the pop-ups, we created the pop-ups. I think a lot of people who needed bread started making it at home. Mm-hmm. And now they have like cottage license, small little micro bakeries all popping up all over the place. And it started off during COVID, which is not a bad thing, which is great.
And rediscovered the art of making this bread. And it's
Actually, I have to say 20, 25 years ago, there was a trend that they have the old bread maker.
I saw that too, yes. Right.
But you get tired of it because it's not that great, It's just kind of pushing.
But you felt like you were making it. And it tasted better.
It smelled good.
Right.
And you can be creative.
Came with its own little flour, everything in it. Just add water and you throw it in the machine.
Yeah.
Right. So you felt like you were making bread.
So the bread now that we know is sacred, and if we can put bread on the table, we have life. But that the French average eat 120 baguettes per habitant a year.
Oh my God!
Yeah, we eat a lot of baguettes.
So I'll shock you again. So all the years I grew up at home, 18 years till I went to college. Never once did I or any of my friends ever have a baguette on a thing. We had a loaf of bread from the store. Yeah. We'd never seen a baguette till we went to like France or something. Or
if you want to know if you are buying a good baguette,
please
weigh it.
Weigh it?
Yes.
Should it be light or heavy?
Heavier than lighter.
If it's super light, that means it's a heavily yeasted product, and it's mostly the yeast, so it's light. So all my bread, I like a little bit of girth to it.
Texture.
Yeah.
Heft.
I
would have thought the opposite. I would have thought light is fairy and light seems good.
And you need to smell. You need to have a smell when you cut.
But, like if you think about it, bread is, in my opinion, is a recession-proof business.
Really? Okay. How so? We're all looking for recession-proof.
During the depressions, bakeries thrived. And I hate to say it, prisons, all of that, they gave them a bunch of bread because it gave them enough nourishment and it got them full.
Right.
So bakeries always...
Bread and water.
Yeah, bread always did well. And when it comes down to it, even COVID, people just want to go back to comfort. And bread is comfort.
I remember
very much
buying
so.
a lot of power bake bread during COVID because I was selling from the side, from the back door of my kitchen. People were looking for bread. So I said, well, I have some in the freezer. How many you want? I want 12 baguettes. Boom, gone. Oh.
You know, because during COVID, I remember we were all locked down.
Yeah.
We were doing nothing.
Yeah.
All of us, you know, even my employees, I mean, there's so much they can mop and clean in the bakery, but I remember one of the local people told me, Dean, do you have any bread at the bakery? I go, no, you know what? No, I only make a couple of loaves here and there just for testing now, but if you want, come get it. Yeah. And then he said, the supermarkets don't have any bread. And I go, what are you talking about? And I, like you, we hardly go to supermarkets because we just go to the source and get our food there. And now when I went to 3 different, I went to Stater Brothers, I went to Ralph's, I went to Vaughn's. All the baking shelves were empty, and I could not believe it. And I remember I called one of my best friends, Tarit Tandasari, Crema artisan. He has a bakery too. And I said, hey, listen, we're not doing anything. I'm gonna make, it's not even employees here. I have flour. I'm gonna make a bunch of bread. I'm gonna post it online and say, hey, I'm opening up the bakery. People could come in and buy bread.
Wow.
And he took it as, you go ahead and try it. If it works, I'll think about coming down. And then I called him that day and I go, oh my God, you won't believe it. I sold out on all the bread in like 3 hours. It was crazy. I don't have a crumb left. And he goes, I'll be there tomorrow. And that's what started the pop-up.
Yeah.
And
how do we find the pop-ups? Or where do they?
It's at the bakery in Orange. It's 1960 North Glassell in Orange, California. The doors are open. You'll see the signs. But that's how it started. The whole pop-up started. And then we saw the need for the people. So all the essential workers, the nurses and the doctors were delivering bread for free to all the hospitals because they couldn't leave. So all of them, everyone got free bread. And then next thing you know, I mean, the bakery was getting packed full of people just buying stuff. And I'm like going, oh my God, you know, but.
So 2 more questions and then we got to wrap up here. One is, are there lots of people in the baking business? And how do you get into the baking business today? Is there a school at the culinary schools where they teach you how to bake?
There's the American Institute in Baking in Kansas City. There's a lot of baking classes all over. San Francisco Baking Institute. But if you do open up a bakery, remember, just like a restaurant, it is super expensive. Equipment, super expensive.
The utility costs. And
utilities, everything in any type of business, especially restaurant and hospitality, is super expensive.
You got heat, you got ovens, you got electric mixers, all that stuff.
And
but you need to have delivery trucks too.
Yeah, and I thought when I was younger, they always said always have like 3 months worth of revenue to cover the bills.
Clearly.
But nowadays, I think if you're going to open up a business,
6 months.
You need at least a year to 2 years worth of backup money.
Wow.
Just in case.
To ride the waves.
Because you just don't know.
So are there lots of bakers? I really don't know of many
There are a lot of bakeries now. There are a lot of bakeries
There's some
out there.
very large ones, too.
Yeah. I mean...
But not of that quality.
Most of the bakeries I think of are public bakeries. So you would go to, what's the big one thing I was talking about? I think this was one at Disney where...
Bodine.
Yes.
Bodine is a great bakery, and they do a great job. I'm on the kind of the smaller, medium-sized bakery.
But you've got a niche, however you say it, with restaurants.
Not only with restaurants, for stadiums, for anyone who needs specialized product, they usually call me.
And big quantities and specialized products. Okay.
And what's amazing, one thing I wanted to say, when you buy bread, industrial bread, because this bread, there's 3 or 4 ingredients.
Right.
That's it. Except if you have walnut or sesame seed,
not shot full of
whatever,
preservatives and other things.
But if you buy packaged bread in a store, please look at the label.
100 things you won't recognize.
You got to read the label because it's food color. There's a stabilizer. So the bread doesn't get bad after 2 days.
Right.
So please,
flavor enhancers. Right.
the thin lines. If there's more than 2 lines on the ingredient
More
list,
than 3 ingredients worry.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've had bakeries or people ask me to add these ingredients in. I go, I don't even know how.
Yeah.
So I can't do it.
Yes,
chemistry. That's not what I do.
And good bread is good for you. It gives you some acid fluoric, which makes you to digest. Bread is good for your health. Don't overdo.
That would be do you ever put like acidophilus in or other sorts of things to enhance the bacteria growth like a yogurt does?
No, absolutely not. I think that's one thing I just, for the next owner of OC Baking Company, do whatever you want. But since I'm the owner here, I'm just doing what I know. And that's all I know.
And that's my last question. What do you know about the future of bread? Is it all going to be robots making it? Or is there a new flavor coming out?
Well, that's the difference between restaurants and bakeries in a sense, especially bakeries at like my level. We can mechanize more.
Right.
Have machines do more. Mm-hmm. But in restaurants, you can't tell a machine to cook a duck or plate it perfectly.
They're experimenting. Go up to the new Tesla restaurant in West Hollywood. They got robots flipping the burgers and stuff here.
But see, a machine can do that, but it will be too perfect.
Yeah.
They have a little special knife. Check.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Every baker has his own touch,
Yeah.
And,
his own signature.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I think overall, if someone who doesn't know bread looks at these loaves, they're like, oh my God, that looks ugly. Mm-hmm. But there's a beauty to that ugliness. And it is, you could eat it.
I'm going to break some bread.
Please do. Let's break bread together as we leave. Tell me a flavor that's hot these days. What are people trying?
Everyone's sourdough. Everyone is a sourdough fan, and everyone is. I think everyone's now going more to the neutral type of bread.
Because my father came from a Polish neighborhood. He used to love the Russian rye and the really strong bread.
I love rye.
A good rye.
I love a good rye because it's the best thing in the world. But if you ask me, I just go with something plain, like a plain Italian loaf or a baguette. And that's
Pass one back here. So is there anything that I should be looking for? This is the new trend. Everybody's talking. You said sourdough's hot. How about like flavor? Are you talking about raisins, walnuts, all sorts of other things?
I do that too, but
wow,
it's fluff. That's all it is to me. Eat bread for what it is. That's why I do all those SKUs because people keep on asking you to add stuff on bread.
Yeah, right.
So.
But is there anything better? I'll leave with this. Is there anything better than what I'm tasting here right now? Just good, fresh, baked bread.
Yeah, come to the bakery.
Yeah.
20 minutes after the oven.
Mm-hmm.
Then
nice,
you could hear the
warm
crust setting and.
Love to.
Yeah, it's a. Bread communicates to me. I know I may sound like a lunatic.
We don't test a tiny bit sour, but you can still test the saltiness.
Uh-huh.
And there's no sugar there. And we can
No.
So that's what can be better than that. Maybe
it's not overpowering. So many breads today. I see all these specialty breads, and that's not bread. There's so much stuff. 47 cheese and walnuts and raisins.
No, but here you just put a little French salt butter on it, and then go.
Well,
you're happy.
I'm a stupid baker, so all I know is bread. But, like I said, I like the simplicity of bread.
All I know is you're doing God's work. This from Chef
One
Pascal.
quick question.
Yeah.
Is sometimes you have requests for something organic? Because this is pretty much organic.
Yes.
Maybe not the base.
The flour's not organic.
It's too complicated.
Yes.
To get organic.
Well, organic, once you go organic, that's where you fall into like the $20 loaves of bread.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to keep my bread still marginally priced where people could afford it,
And is it really organic? Because it's...
Well, I don't know. I have my theories, but I don't want to get in trouble, so I'm not going to say anything.
And not a well-defined word.
Yeah, so...
Anybody can say it's organic.
I think they said, like, if it's 20% organic, you could say it's organic.
Yeah.
You know, and for me, I order flour. I think any good baker could get whatever flour, and they can manipulate the bread.
To conclude, I will say, he doesn't make organic bread, but he makes passionate bread.
Yeah.
Full of passion.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I'll try.
All right. How do they reach you if they want to find out more? It doesn't sound like very often they can get it directly from you, but once in a while maybe. What's the name of the company, website, and everything?
It's OC Baking Company. You could look under ocbakingco.com. And we're at the Orange Homegrown Farmers Market every Saturday. And for all you guys out there, it's worth going to the pop-up. You'll see Pascal. You'll see me. For fresh product, we'll have pies, cake, pasta, coffee.
And where's that at? That's at where?
At the bakery at 1960 North Gliselle. It's in a big warehouse.
You're saying a pop-up, so it's not always there?
It's not always there. It's there for the day before Thanksgiving. Get your fresh rolls, whatever you need for your Thanksgiving holiday. And we'll be there the day before Christmas Eve.
I'll be there. You'll see me.
Look at our social medias, and you'll find out more.
We will break bread together.
We'll break bread together. A sacred act. I'm going to take that away. You said bread is sacred. I think I've never thought of it that way.
Yes.
I thought it was pedestrian. It's ordinary. Just bread. I need bread. I go to the back of the supermarket and get bread. It's not a religious experience, but I'm a religious guy, so maybe it is. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, who knew? Bread is a sacred experience. There's a sacred art to it. And we're coming back and discovering more of it right here behind the kitchen doors. Every week with Chef Pascal on Orange County's only community radio station, OC Talk Radio. Streaming live from our studios here at the University of California, Irvine's Beale Applied Innovation Center.